All right, good evening, everyone. Most of you know me. My name is Benjamin Tomlinson. I'm an electrical engineering major at KSU, and I'm running for president of NSB, Kennesaw chapter. So, we skip through a little bio here. I'm on time crunch. I've been a member since 2014, and I serve currently as the fundraising chair. So, right off the bat, what qualifies me for this position? Since I started undergrad, and before that, even in high school, I've always had a leadership position. I've always been involved. I've always had that initiative. I received Chapter Executive Board Member of the Year award last year, and I was on the Committee for Power, which was last year, and I now serve as the committee chair for that event, and it's turning into one of the biggest events of our chapter. And so, you know, I'm just gaining much experience just being involved and talking to people, and I've earned support from my own members. I think that's really more important as a qualifies me. So all that's great, but what are my goals for the chapter? What do I envision for us? Well, quite simply, after getting involved and really getting to know what NSB has to offer, getting to know people, just to name a few individuals that have really spoken to me, like their actions have spoken to me. One of them is our current president, Shannon Hunter. I've just admired her passion. She's just a strong woman, and she's done so much for the chapter. She really cleaned things up coming in from what happened. We just had mishaps as any organization would, and then, you know, she kept things well organized and things of that nature. And Christopher is not here, but Chris Roper is definitely another person that is just truly an inspiration to me. And I've realized that those are products of NSB. And so the thing is, we have recently merged with Kennesaw State University. We are KSU now. And with that, you know, I'm sure you guys have seen this influx of students and rules and everything. And so times have changed, which means expectations have changed. And so there's a need for us to keep that trend of Black excellence. And so considering that there is a need, considering that there is a need, as any engineer would do, I established a process to deal with that need. So that process, I'll just name a few. We have a couple of needs and concerns. One of them is financial dependency. 2 is campus visibility, and 3 is membership participation. I'll just kind of talk about those a little bit. To battle our finance concern is I've already started filling out sponsorship applications. And I've also, we've actually already been working with Premier Events, our own stadium. So that would revamp like the levy system that we kind of lost a couple years ago, and pulls in about $250 a game. And so that's working on our finances. I already started on that. To increase our on-campus visibility is just to create a brand for our organization and just remain consistent so that people see that we're doing this, we're doing that, and we're showing who we are and what we stand for. And we're also unified. We're increasing membership participation. And of course, I'm sure you guys have seen this process in your fundamentals class. So we move on to design. That would just be me delegating tasks, and after that we would actually initiate it. And then after that we would look to our advisors and our members for advice and improvements and things of that nature. So all that's great, wonderful. Why should you elect me to initiate that? Well, I have a vision for this chapter, and that vision is simple. I believe this organization is not just meant to be a resume builder. I believe that this organization should not be seen as an uptight society. I believe that this organization on this campus should be a unified general body that reflects the goals and aspirations of the executive board, which in turn reflect the initiative of myself as the president. My vision involves implementing a robust solution process, as I stated, working with my board members, delegating tasks, and getting legwork going, and getting all that housekeeping taken care of, so that I, as the president, can leave that house and step out into the world and be the liaison to outside bodies, to provide opportunities within everyone's reach. My vision, this chapter at Kennesaw State University, invokes a very simple but profound statement. And that statement is our mission statement. That statement is to increase the number of culturally responsible Black engineers who excel academically, succeed professionally, and positively impact the community. Thank you.
Hey, scoot over a little bit. Hey, stand next to the gavel. It looks good with the backdrop.
Second. Questions, comments? Yes. Being a member already, a member of the board, I guess already. Is there any things you would like to change about the interaction between board members and how they get things done? Because I know you're president and everything's going to fall on your back when it comes to coordinating all the members. So is there anything you want to change with that to make sure that there's a better unity among the members so that things are actually getting done? Absolutely. I've already started on that. Most of the people that are running, I've already reached out to them prior and asked, hey, what are your expectations of me? What are your expectations of being on the board? And basically, I want to build a profile on each other, on us, so that we really need to get to know each other. Because any team, on any company, any good team knows each other. They have chemistry, and they get along. Or at least they get along in concordance with, what their objective is, at least. Because, of course, not everyone gets along. So we definitely need to have a retreat. And I stress that because we need to meet each other on a non-professional level and just talk to each other. Get to know each other as people. What is your pet peeve? What are your habits? What are your organizational tips? And we'll just exchange all of that. And that's definitely going to be taken care of. I've already planned that for the summer. Yeah. When you say retreat, you're talking about like going in the woods? No. So, yes, and I say retreat because that's a common. In
the summer, mosquitoes?
That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, that's a common tradition that's been. It doesn't have to be, in the woods, but it'll just be a place where we decide on. Where we can go, where we can literally just convene somewhere and we can talk. There's plenty of places we can go. We don't even have to leave Atlanta, honestly, but we can definitely find a place that's just where we can just be ourselves and talk to each other.
Well, so as a president, how would you handle
conflict resolution? Conflict resolution?
Yeah.
Right. So.
You already knew that was coming. He owned it.
So yes. Like I said, there's like 17 positions of 17 students who each have 17 different lives. So what I'm going to do before that, before I deal with conflicts, I want to make a general statement with that board when we get to know each other and make it very clear that as president, I'm going to be occupied being the liaison, being the face, and going this way. And you guys are huddled up in here with your vice president. So if a problem comes to me, I need to treat it already with a higher magnitude. I need to treat it as if it's already been checked by, a higher ranking officer or things of that nature. That's the first thing. To kind of set that ground, all right, is this going to go to Ben? If it really goes to Ben, we need to make sure that, okay, what have we done to try and solve this problem? Because he's going to treat it as if it's a bigger problem, because it's coming to me. We all need to know each other, and our officers, the chain of command, definitely needs to be handled accordingly. If problems do arise, say between our higher ranking officer and a lower ranking officer, well, many presidents that I've reached out to, Jeff and Shannon is one of them, I need to remain impartial. That's the first thing. And secondly, I need to realize if this is seriously harming the vision of our chapter, then if both of them are violating that, then both of them may need to be reprimanded. If not, I need to investigate, see who's wrong, who's right, according to KESB bylaws and KESB motives, and treat it like that, and go on from there.
Will you ever consider termination of a board member if necessary?
Absolutely. That's kind of a little bit about my question. I was saying, my question was going to be what a good leader is willing to take a hit, even if it means losing people.
So I was wondering, like, how devoted are you to making sure that we're, like, I guess, really in line and trying to work together? Because I think that that's actually something that will help build the image of NSB.
Absolutely.
The discipline is actually what will build the image of NSB. So how devoted are you to that for the next?
So I'm gonna target the first part of that where you said, like, you know, am I willing to take a hit? I'll start there. Even now, like I said, as president, like when me running for president, I had to investigate who's gonna be on my team, who's gonna be on my squad. And right now we're like less than half already. So if you really think about it, I'm already taking hits. As prospectively, of course. I'm already taking hits. But I was even talking to my, constituents and saying, what are we gonna do? And talking to myself and thinking like, what was really gonna do? What are my goals really gonna be fulfilled? And a key word to start off is to being ahead. Start off with having a plan so that we can be prepared for mishaps. And even though, like now, like I said, we have less than half, that's fine right now. Because time will still go on. The fall is not here yet. And we're gonna still get things going. And so as the president, I still need to make sure that things are being taken care of under that umbrella. And I didn't get the second part of your question. You're asking about, you said, how am I willing to take hits? And you're saying, what was the second part of your question?
Oh, no, it wasn't really a question. I was just saying that I think that the whole, I guess, discipline and discipline of the organization is actually a vital factor to getting that image that we want.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
so that was just related to the question.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So as the president, you also have to be able to get critiqued by your peers. So how do you think you'll be able to take that on as you go?
Well, I'll answer that in two ways. The first way is, like I said, I reached out to the people that I knew were running, and I asked them, if I were to win, if I were your president, what do you expect of me? What makes a leader, a great leader, is that they serve first. And so I'm willing to give my pride, give my dignity, because it automatically comes right back to me, because I'm building myself based on how people view me. Because if you don't, act accordingly to how people view you, then they won't like you, they won't want to be on your team or whatever, so on and so forth. So I need to make sure people know, what do they want from me? And if it's within the confines of the KESB Constitution and things of that nature, if it's within my power, then I'm going to do it. That's the first part of the question. The second part of the question is, I'm surprised no one has asked me this yet. I reached out to 3 presidents, including our current president, about this advice. And so Shannon is our current president. Jeff served 2 terms before her. And before Jeff was a man named Kyle Phillips. And I got advice. Right. I got advice from each of them. So what I got from Jeff was basically, just keep the peace, keep mediated, and make sure you're well balanced. He ties into what happened with Kyle. He told me what happened when Kyle was president. He said Kyle was very authoritative. He was very tyrannical. The chapter died out by the 3rd week of October because nobody saw, what is that? Are we college students still? Are we working for some other company? And even at companies, they have wonderful interaction between their employees. If you guys remember Wiley Wilson, that'd be a great I'd love to work for Wiley Wilson. They have an amazing employee enrichment program, and that's necessary. It can't be strict, update, only this, only that. There needs to be a balance. And I'm willing to implement that. And so Shannon, she's told me many times, be impartial. Don't waver. Make sure that you're not gearing towards anyone based on your personal thoughts, but based on what's set forth by the organization. And so those are the 3 presidents that we got to answer that question.
You said when do you intend, or I guess you probably already mapped out, your roadway towards graduation. When about do you graduate, do you think?
Right now, I just took on a math minor, and I plan on minoring in mechatronics. So right now, the course is set for fall 2019.
Okay. So by fall 2019, which is roughly a little, like almost 3 years since we're at the beginning of 2017, where do you see Kesby by the time you put down a torch and you exit? Like, where do you see the chapter after you've left it?
All right, well, considering I only served one term, next spring, I definitely hope to see our financial dependency completely taken care of. And I say that wholeheartedly because, like I said, we're a part of a new university. Most people have deterred from that idea. Kennesaw has so many resources that we're not made aware of until this semester. And I've been investigating ever since. Like I said earlier, like we can use our own stadium. We don't have to go through insurance or anything. We literally go as students and we can literally make money for our organization. And on top of that, we've reached out to SAVAC, we've reached out to companies and things of that nature. When people start to see that consistency, which is another aspect of what I was talking about, it's gonna start to flow together. So in a year, I'll say confine it to a year, I definitely plan for us to have money to spare. Two, to increase membership participation. How? Creating an incentive program. Something really small and manageable. If a member comes to study hall and investigates that, or if they express interest in going to off-campus events, we'll just kind of utilize some sort of point system that can turn into. It can turn into small things. You can get a pin, you can get supplies from career services. Like I said, another resource. They literally can give us things for free because we have a plug in career services. So when people start racking up those things, they start to see this is what I can get from NSBE. And so as a college kid, that's a convenience. Free food, free this, free that. And you have to know how to cater to your audience. And so by the end of 2018, I definitely see us quite wealthy and in both monetarily and members. So, yeah.
I'll move a little bit towards the Constitution, since, as president, you kind of have to have a little mindset of that as well. Do you know what consists of the admin zone? Like what positions are all consistent in there?
President, vice president, secretary, and I believe it's also the treasurer.
It's like, like two more.
Programs chair,
Yep.
and parliament chair.
Yeah, and essentially, I think, is the senator now added to that?
Well, the senator is a required position now for the national chapter.
But yeah, so that's right. So pretty much his own leads, and then the senators, you can kind of include them if you want to. Because I know sometimes you may want to have a meeting with just his own lead. So
Yes.
So coming from not like the bottom of the organization, but the bottom of the tier, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So communications, always the admin zone. You have a lot of ideas and there's a lot of passion behind your work. But in the admin zone, I feel like you're overseeing it. So how would you feel about not micromanaging, but just giving someone a task and saying, I want to see what you can do with this, rather than you having hands all over it?
Yes, and let me just reiterate the tail end of my speech. My goal is to get people to get those tasks going. I understand that the vice president is the one that manages the zone. I just kind of administer the zone. Because like I said, I need to be out here. Everyone else is in here. If there's a problem, I turn around, fix it, go back on my job. So, the task, I have no problem with that. And to further extend my ideas, I've already curated them onto documents that each have a purpose, that each have tasks, that each have people to fill out those tasks. And so I'm more than prepared to say, here, get to work.
So are you saying that the people who take the positions have no creative?
No, they'll definitely be like revised, and we're gonna talk, they're not set in stone, but they've been started. So like I said, when the board is formed, I'm gonna propose those, there's 3 of them. there's 3 projects. There's Project Identity, there's Project Impact, and there's Project Ready. And so I was gonna propose that and say, all right, these are the documents I came up with. Who has ideas to feed into this? Okay, we're gonna vote on it, and then from there, we'll sign it. And then from there, we'll look at where the taxes are going, who are they going to, and then from there, we get to work.
I move to extend time 3 minutes.
Second.
I was saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Can I
feel
say
like
second
the
yet?
feel I'm getting from the question he's asking is that of the tasks that we are doing, like the tasks that are given to a person, is there they do that task and what they produce is whatever you produce is going to be a little bit of yourself, right, inside of it. So I think the more of the question correct me if I'm wrong, she's asking is that will you give people more liberty to express themselves in their job when it doesn't, I guess, hinder the mission of the
Absolutely, yes. Definitely.
So I'm pretty sure it's well known our past 2 presidents have had like good connections to outside sources. So how do you feel, you being a younger person stepping into this role, how do you feel you'll be able to take up some of the tasks that they were able to provide on their own will?
Okay, well, let's see. I have the personal contact for the project manager over the stadium. My brother's the graphic designer for our university, in case you guys didn't know. So those are the people I go through. That's as far as fundraising and finances. I also personally know Tracy Stafford. I know Miss Emily Wells personally. I have her contact number in my phone. And she's head of multicultural student services, which can get us like student advocacy. That's just more like for our minority aspect and Black engineering aspect. The list goes on. And so as far as connections, like I said, I'm willing to reach out for help and advice. I know Shannon has connections. I know Jeff has connections. I have mine too. So together, that's a trifecta.
Since you've been on the board this year, what stuff that the president has done this year do you disagree with, or you think that you could have done better?
I wouldn't even say that I would have done better, and I say that because our board had so many mishaps, like unexpected. It was more like the president couldn't do it, because we had to focus on just keeping ourselves together, because we literally lost like half of our board last semester, and that was just due to just that. We had no part in that, and so like I said, she did a wonderful job. She kept things in line. We got us to FRC, and we're getting us to nationals. Those are the 2 big things that you gear towards. And I'm sure she's a very interactive person. People know her, and so it was more of like what we couldn't do as a board. That I'm willing to take advantage of is to keep that torch well lit with the resources that I've now discovered.
So, it seems
I
like
move to extend time 2 minutes. 3.
Second.
Second.
Okay, so being that, you said you basically have a plan moving forward for not only the board, but just how to, get things going with the general body as well. Say, some similar issues arise and we just have unforeseen mishaps that literally throw everything that you plan just haywire. How do you plan to, stay on track with the NSBE mission and things that we've already rolled out, and then, not fall apart?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you plan to handle those mishaps?
Okay, I'll describe a worst case scenario, which was basically what did happen. Our program zone was basically depleted. And not only that, our program's chair had her own personal adversities. And so what my opinion, if you call it an opinion, my point of view about my stance, there we go, on what the board needs to do. Yes, we have academic excellence. Yes, we have telecommunications. Yes, we have a president. Yes, we have a vice president. Each of them have a job to do. That's stated. Our mission statement is right here. So we all have one goal, one mission, one job. It's just allocated into different jobs. So if we lose the program zone, right? Same thing that happened, let's say, this semester. Everyone else has to realign themselves accordingly so that we can continue to get that job done. That's the best way, that's the best defense I have for that, is the people to just fill in. They're going to have to. Just because you're telecommunications, that doesn't mean you can't help out with academic excellence. If our academic excellence chair, has something, I don't even want to, say anything bad happen, but, things happen in life. Deaths in the family, medical problems. If that happens, life has to continue. And if we have that job to do, we need to do it as a team.
So you could potentially be working with an inexperienced group of people on the board, like, probably they haven't served on the board of NESB or just haven't had any leadership abilities, period. How would you work with such a group of people fulfilling the mission of NESB?
Are you saying, like, if that were to happen?
Yes.
Okay. In some crazy world, if that were to happen, if I were to have underqualified people, going back to me in the projects that I laid out, that when I curated all the ideas and plans, they each had specifics, basically dumbed down to where even a person who is underqualified could do it. And so, let's say for example, I'm a professor and I'm teaching you a class that's a 3,000 level, and you've been in this 3,000 level, you've taken the prereqs for it, but somehow, some way, someone who only has a 1,000 level class ended up in your class. They don't know, don't have that prerequisite knowledge. But let's say I'm just a great professor that I, go over concepts leading into this course. So that person at that 1,000 level can catch up. And I've actually experienced that in the class, and I'm sure you guys have too. Like, professors will redo, I don't know, partial fractions or something. So you'd be like, okay, basically failed Calc 2, but it's fine. I mean, it happens. It happens. We don't always have what we need to get what's done that must be done. And so it just comes down to specifics. Sorry.
Second, no, but